Well, hello, and welcome to the EverQuest 2 Rum Cellar stream. I'm Bryce Schuler. You guys probably know me as Roshan on the forums. I'm joined today with Chris and Holly.
Hi, I'm Chris Garlick. I'm a designer, and I work on dungeons and missions and a little bit of everything else, actually.
Okay, and we also have Holly over here. Let me see if I can actually...
Hi, I'm Holly Longdale. I'm the executive producer of EverQuest and EverQuest 2. We're super excited to be able to talk about Rum Cellar today. We gave you sort of a summary and an introduction to beta that started on Monday. But we're really excited to talk about what's in it. Chris is going to, as the chief designer of the heroic content, he's going to show you some pretty cool stuff that happens in there. We're really excited about it. And also we'll talk a little bit about what Rum Cellar and who Rum Cellar is intended for. So we felt that in Altar of Malice that we had a bit of a deficit for casual content. So you can consider this casual to mid-level content for solo, heroic, and raid, which means you can use this content to help gear you up for the Altar of Malice content. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Chris, and he's going to explain an overview of the story for the Rum Cellar campaign, and then walk you through some of the highlights. So thanks for joining us.
Just kick this guy over to here.
Howdy, folks. And I am now in Phantom Sea, just outside the Rum Cellar. You'll probably recognize this area. We're just under Castle Highhold. If you look at the map, Castle Highhold is here. Rum Cellar is right here. Farsea's Rum Cellar. And the main storyline is the prevention of the Rumpocalypse. Think Age's End Part 2. Not really. So you're going to want to come over and talk to Gru. He's a Broken Skull pirate, and I've already done the quest. No spoilers here. He's going to ask you to resupply their rum stocks because they are all out, and a sober pirate is devastating upon Norath, and we do not want sober pirates running amok. So he says, hey, restock our supplies. We can't get into the Rum Cellar because it's full of Farsea's distillery guards, and they can't break in. So your mission is to break into the distillery, discover the layout so that they can work their way in with with the information that you return. Once that's over, they've got their supply of rum, and all is right in the world. And once you're done with that, well, you now have the drunk pirates to deal with. So obviously you're going to go back and kill the pirates. But at the beginning, there is very little fighting in the first stages of the event, and then after that, you can go back into like the heroic version of the zone and do much more fighting throughout. There's going to be the solo, the heroic, and raid versions of the zone. There's a progression from solo to heroic to raid, and if you did all three, you get the complete story. But you can get the majority of it from just a solo and a little bit more into heroic.
So when you're talking about progression, you're talking about just progression of the storyline or progression of character advancement?
Progression of the storyline. But there is. You're not going to miss much at all if you don't do the heroic or the raid as far as the storyline goes. You're going to get the bulk of it from just doing the quest for the solo, because we want to make that open to everybody, no matter what your play style is. And I should mention that the solo is pure solo, so you're not going to bring a merc. You can't bring another player, but you don't have to worry about your personal gear or your skill set, whatever. It's made for everybody, from experts to completely new players. To as long as you're obviously level 100, you can get in and complete the zone without too much difficulty.
Okay, so talk a little bit more about the solo. So you mentioned in the solo gear doesn't matter. So what is going on in that solo? Why gear doesn't matter?
Well, you're not going to be using weapons so much as your wits. So you have to really the whole point is to sneak around and get from point A to point B without getting caught. And you don't want to get caught by the Farseas distillery guards. They're the ones that, they're the Farseas Trading Company. It's their rum production facility, and they've got it surrounded by guards. Because the Broken Skulls are trying to break in, so now they're on they've on high alert, and they're going to try to prevent anybody from getting into their rum cellar. I should mention that you're not going in alone.
Okay.
You don't have a merc or another player with you, but you do have the help of a parrot, and not just any parrot, but an undead parrot. So, and his name is Nibbles.
Or are we gonna check some of the solo stuff out today?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
I'll show a little bit of the solo. I can't show too much because it's gonna give away, the puzzles. It's a total puzzle event style. So it's there is a little bit of fighting at the end. Again, you don't have another player with you or another merc or a merc, but you can complete the boss fights at the end by yourself. There's enough help within the zone to get you past this.
For sure. And we don't want to give people spoilers for the lore or some of these puzzles in here, but I figure if we get into it, then we can show some of these things that you're talking about, opposed to just the sweet cloak that the guy's wearing.
Oh, yeah.
And just a note on the Rum Cellar campaign, too, I've seen some comments. So level 100 is required, as well as having Altar of Malice. Right now, the Rum Cellar campaign will be priced at $14.99, and all access members will be able to get a discount off of that. We're doing discount bundles with the Altar of Malice expansion that will include the Rum Cellar campaign, and the pricing on that will be coming shortly. We're just working out some of the final details on that, but I thought we should mention it before we get going on some of the funness that's happening in there. And also, Chris will probably spend a moment talking about there is, with the Rum Cellar campaign, there'll be a merchant that will accept Farrens that only people who own the Rum Cellar can access. He'll have gear, a version of their really cool Zeppelin mount will be on there.
That's this guy.
Yeah, that guy right there.
Let me bring him back.
We're going to switch.
Oop.
So there's a ton of content in there, and Chris will talk a little bit about what's going to be available. There's some really unique things there.
This is all just placeholder stuff, guys. There'll be other Rum Cellar specific,
awesome.
But that's Scruffy Tea. I should note that this is the Rotanga.
And we are,
appearance.
sorry, Chris, we are, because someone's asking, we are doing a bundle for regular standard Altar of Malice and the collector's edition. And then I think we'll also attempt, I need to talk to some folks around here to see if there's an upgrade option available. So we will, we'll be checking that out, and we'll get back to you obviously very soon, because time is short given that it's launching on April 28th.
Okay, and on a similar note, where people on the forums had asked about, will there be something like a collector's edition for this campaign?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're keeping it simple.
Okay, so there'll be the bundle with the collector's edition to get some of that Altar of Malice goodies.
Yeah.
Some of those Altar of Malice goodies.
Right.
And then we'll have some other neat stuff for people down the line, too.
Yeah, I mean, this literally, with the campaign, we're not including any bonus items. It's all stuff you earn in the content. And with your Farrens, you can immediately go purchase stuff from the merchant. So, yeah, it's all available and tied to the Altar of Malice content. I think we're looking at having an undead parrot house pet.
For half a moment, I thought this guy's foot here was going through the ground, but it's a peg leg.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, I should note that...
and there are advanced solos. There is an advanced solo.
Yeah.
There's an advanced solo, a heroic, which is huge, an event heroic challenge version, and a raid zone with 10 bosses. It's 9 accessible and one shot boss. And also the advanced solo. So this is the first time we're doing this. It is a version of the event heroic. So if you remember, the event heroics are 3 boss zones. They're supposed to be run within 30 minutes or so. The advanced solo is a version of that. So you'll have the 3 bosses. It'll be quick loot. And it's Nibbles with a B. Just saying.
Okay, so and also I wanted to mention this earlier, but this Rotanga is the eye patch Rotanga. We also give in this campaign, you can get eye patches for your eyes as well. There's a left and a right, and there's different styles, so you can have this Rotanga appearance and have both eyes patched.
You can have both eyes patched.
Sure, why not? Only that guy, though. So there's going to be an influx of Ratanga characters being created now. So I'm going to... Oh, here's some of the other pieces of armor that you can acquire. Cool cloak.
And for people who aren't super familiar with EverQuest 2, so you can basically appearance, because of the appearance tab, any of these pieces that you get that maybe aren't upgrades for you, you can use appearance-wise, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to go and I'm going to enter the solo, the Rum Cellar solo. And if they're all named FS Distillery, as for Farsi's Distillery.
How does a mercenary see if they have 2 eye patches?
It's a monk.
I don't know. Call him Daredevil.
It's sensing the universe of Norath around you.
How do I ban Tom Toby from the chat? What is he talking about over there?
It's Tom. It could be anything.
So
Tom
I am in...
Nibbles with a B.
Okay, so Nibbles, the one we were talking about earlier.
Yes, that's this guy.
I'll fire Tom when I get back to my office.
But now he has an hour head start.
So yes, Nibbles is the undead parrot that will follow you around in the solo, and he kind of guides you along the way. So I did see a report from a player asking for POIs for the quests that are involved in the zone, but we kind of left that out. So because that's just going to give away a lot of the puzzle, the events in the zone. Instead of the POIs or the ROIs for the quests, you have Nibbles to help you with that. So listen to Nibbles. You see this rum on the wall?
Seems like a good place for it.
Yeah, that's for a quest. We won't get into that. Not right now, anyways. There are some X4s, epics. You don't want to mess with those guys. So the whole point is you do not want to fight in the zone. Don't go attacking just all willy-nilly, because you will die. Or you'll actually be sent to jail. There's a little jail in here. Which I'm going to get caught and get sent to, because...
Yeah, we have to check it out at some point.
Oh, yeah.
It's just good television.
Yes.
It's like cops in Nora.
See, he's giving me pointers here. Squawk, lift, get higher. Squawk.
So what's squawk mean as far as tips go?
I don't speak parrot. I'm not sure.
So would you say Nibbles is bilingual then? Parrot and pirate?
Yeah. That would be... No, he's trilingual. All right. Some of the guards here.
Point.
These are all like Farsi's distillery guards. You want to avoid them. If you do not, you're like, oh, you know why? Because
your GM.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! I died. Oh, I have to revive in basically the jail. This is also where you're sent when you die, when you get captured, in the storeroom here. To leave, you do this little spiel, like, hey, let me out. I have this excuse. I'm sick. I need to see a doctor. Okay. Oh, no. He's attacking me. We should have taken his weapons, but we didn't. Now I'm going to cheat and just show off the rest of the zone.
Cheater.
Yes. So if you run, or if you go counterclockwise from the beginning to around, all the way around, you'll see that the whole rum production process is set up here. The sugarcane press, to make your molasses, right?
So if we're showing up the zone, let's get rid of the UI and zoom in a little bit.
Sure.
And just on the question if this is replacing expansions, so I wrote a rather TLDR post in our forum. So basically, we as a team want to be more nimble and react to what the community wants and what we think we want to support for play styles. So that, and also keep the story pretty nimble and fresh. Waiting a year to do something is a long time, even though, as you know, we do live content and we still we'll continue to do that. We're always updating our live events. And I've mentioned that we're doing a lot of performance improvements. We've got coders working on that with regularity. We're working on cross-server Dungeon Finder still. But so we decided with this idea of campaigns, they're basically over a year we'll release the same amount of content we would in an expansion, but we're going to split them up. Right now the plan is this is just a small sampling, as it were. The first real large campaign will be in late fall, so we'll be tackling that over the summer while we do some other things as well. So cross-server Dungeon Finder, we're expecting to come out probably late summer, August sometime, we're hoping. And then, so basically campaigns will replace the notion of expansions, which we define as a once-a-year bucket of stuff, whereas campaigns will be doing them as often as we feel we need to. Pricing may change from campaign to campaign depending on what's in it and what size they are. Our goal is to be really flexible in what we offer. So I talked a little bit about options with bundling. So, and I use as a very standard example, or even if we were to use the Rum Cellar Campaign as an example, let's say it was like a $15 a base purchase for the content, and then if you're a crafter, we can offer a crafting bundle that might cost another $5 or $10, or we can have a mercenary bundle or an adventurer's bundle that contains a bunch of things like armor upgraders and things. So we won't necessarily have just a standard and a collector's. We will have a range of things in between, including, we know there's a lot of people with families and multiple accounts. So we might offer standard bundles that give you, like a discount. If you want 3, you might get a discount on the third one, or, buy 2, get, a discount on the third. I can't really talk about actual specifics because we're not there yet. But the idea is to be really flexible in what we offer. So we know we want to address things like people with multiple accounts that don't want to drop a ton of money to equip all their characters with content and features. So we're looking at all these things, and we're going to be talking about it with you as we go. But the idea is to be flexible and to support the way that you guys play, as well as keep the world alive and fresh as often as possible and meeting the needs of the players. So that's the goal. I hope that answers the question. But yeah, we're not going to be calling them expansions anymore. We're, at least for the time being, campaigns seem to be relevant because we're going to be telling stories. That's our goal, is to do awesome content as often as possible, and it seemed appropriate for RPG. So that's the summary of the thing that I've been talking about for the past week or so.
And a small question.
Small question?
Yeah. Actually, make it so you can actually hear me.
Hi.
Gifting. So we're talking about these things, these bundles, and other ways that people get the campaign. What are your thoughts, gifting for expansions and campaigns?
Yeah, I'm going to look into it. So the Rum Cellar Campaign itself we're not selling it in game. It's only going to be available on the website, which we'll look into it. I'm not sure if gifting is unilaterally available there, but we'll look into it. Yeah, because we think that's a good idea also.
Because people can gift Altar of Malice right now.
Well,
so,
then you'll be able to do that with this too.
Because for people who aren't familiar, I'll just cut back over here. When you do gifting in EQ and EQ2, you get a code that you can give your friends. So I imagine when you do something like these bundles we're talking about, that will be codes that people use to unlock the content.
Sure. We're all chit-chatty with our various departments here, and our EverVigilant platform team handles all those things. So we're working on website stuff and how it's going to look on right now it's called expansion content page, which will be changed to downloadable content or something like that, just to reflect what we're going to be doing now. And then we'll be showing the Rum Cellar Campaign base price, and then the bundle options available with Altar of Malice and the campaign. But yeah, that's the short-term plan. But yeah, we'll look into the gifting for sure.
Okay, so back over here to the game. Chris is still over here in the solo instance, but trying to find some of these landmarks here that are interesting to show people.
Yeah, I saw someone ask, is this a accurate depiction of the rum production? Yes, of course it is. I spent many minutes researching the production of rum, and I came up with this. So if you progress through the zone counterclockwise, you'll see that you've got your sugar cane, turning sugar cane into molasses. You got the press here. Here's the molasses. You go this way. You've got your vats where they're fermenting the liquid, right? And I just got caught by something. Oh, I'm getting sent to jail.
Oh.
The jail is not part of the rum production. It's just being sent to jail. Oh, there we go. Kill this guy. Fermenting area here, the water pump.
Well, and Kenya, I'm not trying to ignore you, but talking about DC and these other things isn't super relevant to what we're talking about right here. We're trying to keep it focused on the content that people are getting. And if there's something that we aren't addressing during the stream, we can chat with you about it afterwards.
Sure. The ultimate goal, by the way, in the solo version, is to get into this building.
It looked like the parrot was over here. Nibbles.
Yeah, he follows you around. He's your pet in the zone. He guides you along the way. But yeah, your ultimate goal is to get in there, and we're not going to tell you how to do that right now. But so yes, that's the layout of the zone. I will go into the heroic version. Actually. And distill or be killed. Now this is I would say this is definitely a casual heroic zone for 6 players, obviously. It is difficulty-wise, it should be just under Castle Highhold or Shreza, but just above Zavathloa or Broken Skull Bay. And this particular zone has 9 heroic bosses, but to complete it, you only have to kill 5, just like in the other ones. So consider 4 of them as bonus bosses. Access to the 5th one, which is the Rum Master, is gained by just killing the first 4 bosses of any of them. You can kill any of the first 8 bosses that are up in the zone. So you have total, you can go anywhere you want, really. I'm just going to show you some of the missions you can gain. Here's a dead Farsi's Distillery Guard. That's a mission to kill the final boss in the zone. If you'll notice that in this one too. This is after you've helped the Broken Skull pirates restock their rum, and now they've invaded. They're filled with rum. They've invaded the distillery, and now you see them inside here in full force attacking the outnumbered distillery guards. If you get close up, I died.
Like how he kills you, and he's like, "I'm having a quick little drink here." Yeah.
So yeah, when you get close to them, they'll kill the distillery guard and attack you, and then if you kill them, it opens up another mission. So there's a bunch of missions in the zone that you can take part in. I should mention too that in the solo and heroic, they each have their own weekly quest, which is called they're the bottles of rum on the wall quest. This is a bug. I'm gonna fix that. Ignore that messaging. In the solo, it's going to be the 11 bottles of rum. So you have to click on 11 bottles of rum on the wall to finish that. You've got a week to do that. For the heroic, it's 22 bottles. And completing those, updating those missions allows you to complete the 99 bottles of rum on the wall, which awards you a red malice gemstone. And also a best in slot piece of armor that solo players can complete. So it'll just take them a little longer than heroic because the heroics can get their mission updates in both solo and heroic, but you can complete the best in slot reward in solo, pure solo.
And I don't know if you can speak more about the armor gems. There's a couple questions about color of armor gems that go on the distillery heroic gear, colors of gems that come from the zone.
Yes. So the final boss in the solo zone and the final boss in the advanced solo zone, they do drop blue malice gemstones. Blue malice shards. So you can convert, or you can use those to buy blue gem armor, which is basically your tier 1 heroic armor. So yes, solo players can now obtain tier 1 heroic gear. and also a best in slot piece of armor, which I will not name now. I'll leave that as a surprise. And if you'll notice, you'll probably run into this guy in the solo zone, Bull McLaren. He's a recurring character throughout. You'll see him in Heroic and the Raid. Up here at the sugarcane press is another recurring character, Yip Nick. He's a sugarcane press mechanic. These are boss mobs that you can kill. Again, you kill 4 of them, and that allows you to enter the final room here, which is the Rum Master's room. And also in the Heroic, there are 2 versions of the Rum Master. There's a normal, so if you enter through this door or the door on the other side, that's the normal mode. But if you obtain the key for the challenge mode, and you go through this door, that opens up the challenge mode version, which is your tier 3 version. So think Shreza Temple Inner Sanctum difficulty for that. Otherwise, it's just high hold difficulty on the final boss. Actually, it's a little easier than that. This guy here is a mount that you can earn. This red Zeppelin, Broken Skull Pirate Zeppelin.
And have we told people how they're earning that yet, or?
No, but I can give you an idea of how to do it.
Are we going to do that during the stream or afterwards?
We're going to do that right now because he's attacking me, and I will kill him. See those? Avoid those. Do we have sound for it? Can we get sound?
Is the game sound on here? It should have game sound. Game should be somewhere.
Yeah.
Weird. I found it. I found it!
Yes. You do not want that to happen to you. You see all that red negatives? It's bad. I'm totally giving out how to kill this guy. Spoilers.
So what I should do is cut over to Holly right here, and then at the end we can just do the mount part.
Yes, I am going
Not
to.
That we have guns in EverQuest 2, but
Yeah.
for the gun. Of some piratey description. A Gatling gun. A Gar.
So I just killed him. Loot this and airship gas bag. Loot that. Oh, it's a collection. Oh, that might be how you get something to fly around in.
So separately, you talked with me before about a hidden quest, hidden titles, hidden collections. So this is an example of that?
That's an example of yeah. So that's a collection that's kind of hidden. So that's a different way of completing or actually starting a collection. Normally, collections are you find a little glowy question marks or exclamation points on the ground, and you click those. And we do have those in this, but this is just another type of collection that we've added, similar to how Castle Highhold at the end of Castle Highhold to obtain the chandelier that falls on the ground and kills Captain Blackhand. You collect pieces of the chandelier there. This is a similar system where you collect pieces of this airship that you complete, and you get the pirate mount.
Okay.
And also you'll see these bottles hidden all throughout the zone. You kill the boss that they're kind of associated nearby, and you click on them, and that updates your bottles of RumQuest.
And Chris, we have shinies in all the zones, right?
Yes, we do have a very deep collection system in here, similar to Canark, where you complete. You can see one set of collections, complete those. That allows you to see another set of collections. Complete those allows you to see another set. So it's the meta collection system. So it's pretty deep. We haven't done anything that in depth as far as collections for a long time for very many expansions.
Someone's asking about the number of people that get collection stuff. So this was the solo, I think, right now when you're picking this up, right?
This is a heroic. So yeah, that's the thing. This is going to be somewhat rare. I mean, there's only going to be one collection piece off of this guy, so you're going to have to roll on that with your, the other 5 players that you're in the zone with, and there's a chance, obviously, to get the same collection piece that you've already have. So, yeah, but the reward is totally well worth it. It's the only place to get that particular mount, and it will have stats appropriate for heroic level characters at a level 100. So,
okay.
Yeah. It'll be well worth it. Let's see. We do have a shark somewhere, so the waters are not safe in here.
Do we have tiers of raid zones? Because that's popped up a few times. Like, what tier of raid? Do we do that?
It's a casual. So Ninja would have a better idea of where that lies, but from what I understand, it's on the more casual side. So it's not going to be top end raid guilds that are going to find it challenging. It's going to be the more casual raids, because we're filling an area in the raid progression that AOM needed, and we're doing that with the Rum Cellar raid.
Yeah,
so,
we chatted about that. We chatted earlier with Candor about like having more stuff for a bigger population of the player base.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was saying in the beginning, is that we wanted to make sure that in AOM there's a lot of really challenging content, and we felt there was a bit of a gap that we wanted to fill with new content that would help raiders who are having difficulty with progression find a really fun way to do some gearing up. There's a couple of best in slot items available in the Rum Cellar campaign, and probably on the boards. We'll get to that, or Candor will get to it. But yeah, I mean, it's all kind of part of making sure it's fun and accessible more to a casual raiding environment, casual groups, and solo players. And it helps you gear up for the Altar of Malice content too, if that's something you wanted to do, or you're finding difficulty or a challenge.
Real quick, so Drew keeps poking on here. I don't understand what you mean by segregating the community. So you have content just like expansion launches, and people can purchase the expansion and play the content. I don't understand segregation of the community based on having more content for people to play in.
I think what he means is if you're in a guild, some people may not want to pay for it, and some people may want to. So the guild may decide to go do, or you're in a guild and you have a common group and you may want to go do this content. Of course, everyone's going to have to own it to go do that. But
how is that different than a regular expansion?
Then it really isn't.
So I mean, and like Holly mentioned, like we're going towards a model where we want to continue to deliver content for you guys. And one way that we can do that is through these campaigns, have content come up more frequently, have a lower price point on that, and have stuff happen more frequently for you guys, so you have more stuff to play through than you would normally, or the same amount of stuff, just spread out throughout the year, so it's not just all one pile of stuff once a year.
Right. And to be honest, even this campaign in the past week is bigger than we initially expected it to be. So the designers added 2 zones to it, or 2 instances to it, because they work incredibly hard, and part of the team is already developing for Tinkerfest, including we're super excited that Domino's helping us do a crafting quest for Tinkerfest. We're trying to get ahead on Knights of the Dead and Frostfell as well right now, because we want to set everything aside and focus all of our time on doing the campaign for October after we release this and go through our beta. So and then, like I said, performance, the crossover Dungeon Finder is no small thing. It's going to be an exceptional addition to the game, in my opinion, that's really going to do a lot of cool things for all the players, of which I've said many times that's what we are too. And then we'll talk about the details there. I think even initially I was asked, does that mean everyone, including international players, are part of that? Initially, no, but we'll be looking for solutions for that too, just because how the servers are segmented. And the coders are looking at redoing how we distribute load on servers to improve lag and performance. So there's a bunch of stuff that's going on. So we'll continue to do, for the time being, our weekly hot fixes. So performance improvements are going to continue to come with those, as well as additions and tweaks. And then with the Rum Cellar Campaign release on the 28th, the focused feedback changes for fighters, summoners, and scouts are going to be coming in, and those are on beta being tested as well right now. There's just a ton. I would hate for you to think that all we're doing is focusing solely just on our campaign content. We will continue to do what we've always done, which is live content. We've got some cool stuff. One minor, I hate to diverge from the content because it's very cool, but another thing that's coming is with our All Access members, you guys get 500 SC for free every month. So we want to make sure that we've got some stuff for you to spend your SC on. So we're going to start looking at the store for some cool additional stuff. And then we've got an announcement probably after Rum Cellar about a cool new thing we'll be adding to the store that hopefully you'll enjoy and find value in. So we're trying to cover a ton of things at the moment. And yeah, I mean, we're going to be continuing to make announcements as we go forward. But the Rum Cellar right now is our big one. And back to Chris. No pressure.
But
And she's like, back to Chris.
I'm on. I thought I'd show you another type of mission that you can participate in Rum Cellar. They seem pretty popular in Ultra Malice. Were the timed missions? So that guy who just ran by you, his name is Kildian. He's another recurring character. You run into him in the solo. So yeah, for instance, this one I've got 5 minutes to kill 15 gangbusters, and the quest is called Gangbusters, and that may or may not give you a title. Maybe.
Hey, so two little questions.
I'm not gonna give any more away about that. But
one is pre-orders. And pre-orders is just like what we did with Ultra Malice, that when it launches, people will be able to buy that and play that.
Right, yeah.
And then the other one is, member of the dev team would like to know what your favorite colored duck is, Chris.
What duck? You don't know what you're talking about. It's a myth.
Yeah. The one on my dinner plate, I guess.
Myths.
She has a paddle.
And no, if you continue to hit animals, Holly Windstalker will remain ever vigilant against your behavior. And I think I saw a question about I can't even remember now. It had something to do with Rum Cellar. I can't remember what it is.
People asked a question about Rum Cellar?
I know. It had something to it was from Carnarvon. Sorry, and that name has special meaning to me because I've been to that castle in Wales. I'm just saying. So if you want to re-ask it, I'll try and remember my answer.
So I try to make a lot of the content in the zone very object interactive. So here she's doing this heave-ho, event where she flies you around the room. Well, to stop that, you have to grab onto something like grab the bed frame. And you don't get thrown. But if you grab a little tiny stool, it doesn't help because it's light and you get thrown across the room.
Oh, yes to Overlands. Yeah. There's already one in the works for the fall campaign.
Also similar to previous in AOM where you kill a named boss for the first time, you do get an achievement and Farron's with that. Look in the achievements. Let's see if I have them up here. Also in dungeons and in achievements window dungeons, there's a special. It's under FS Distillery, not Ultra Malice, for this specific achievements list. There's a whole slew of them here, and I tried to add a lot more achievements for killing bosses. For instance, every boss in at least in the heroic, you'll have two achievements for each boss at least. You can't get them both at the same time because it requires you to kill them different ways. Just give you incentive to come in here and kill them more than just the one time for loot. Another mission here, which I won't go into. That's a surprise. You guys can figure that one out and how to finish that one. Up there, I'm going to get attacked. I'm going to fly across here. This is the storeroom that you were sent to jail in the solo. This is like the so-called jail in solo. Here you fight this sleeping ogre.
I think you missed a shiny over
Shiny?
there. It's over there.
All right, I'll get it.
What are you doing?
Just walk right by
I
it.
know.
This is gonna hurt a lot of players. Where'd you go?
Uh-oh.
Where'd my shiny go? Oh. I have it no more.
Kroll just broke the game.
So yeah, here's an actor. She's just sleeping. Actor as in you can't attack him.
The talent.
Yes, the talent. Oh, look at this.
Oh.
I'm gonna throw it at him. New animations from Tom Toby.
Woohoo!
And that starts him. So that's how you start combat with this guy. If you notice, there's also a buff in the zone called a bottoms up. It's called 3 sheets to the wind in the other zones. Drinking alcohol in the zone does buff you. So if you have alcohol, drink them.
So it's a spoiler warning. Bring alcohol with you.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's the Rum Cellar.
It's a standard rule. The team operates by that
Yeah.
rule as well. As do you,
Oh.
Rye, don't you? I don't know.
It's neither confirm nor deny any assumption.
I'm just killing a few bosses so that I can get into the final room, so I can show that off a little bit. Another area where there's another boss. Yeah, another thing too is that you'll find other races of Broken Skull. For instance, a dwarf. A lot of the neutral characters can be Broken Skull, so you'll see gnomes, obviously, humans. All
I
right.
love Gamer Mom's comment. She's like, he's not a real player. Look at all that bag space.
I know. Look at that. So I killed the fourth boss and I got this key. So you examine the silver key and that gives you the mini quest to unlock the challenge mode of the zone. And when it's just a one-step quest and it actually adds a POI dot on your map. So you know where to go for that chest for the key. We'll go ahead and grab it. Where is it? This way. And there.
Ta-da!
Now I can get into the challenge mode version. Now if I go in here, if I click that, you'll see the messaging that the normal mode is up. Well, after all these. Okay, so this is the normal mode because I went in through this door. Now if I decide to open this door, it resets it, and now I've got the challenge mode version. It's all behind the scenes magic. Look at that new troll female model that our own Chris Atkins made, as well as the undead parrot here.
Nibbles just having a little snack over there.
Oh yeah, no, that's why his name's Nibbles.
Obviously.
Chat's yelling at you to pick up the shiny.
Okay.
He's in combat, guys. You can't just drop like.
There's a really terrible.
Look at this.
cracker
I'm gonna
comment
destroy
in there
it.
somewhere.
Oh no.
Oh.
Now I want to give us a little spoiler info here. I'm going to.
By spoiler, you mean cheating.
Yeah. And we have sound. Okay, good.
I think we are going to be
Listen.
doing a house pet version of the undead pair of Nibbles.
Oh, I died.
Oh. Noob.
Did you hear that?
Chris?
That's good voiceover acting.
That was not me. I wish it was. All right, let's do that again. I gotta stop dying. My own content is killing me. It's not fair. That's for a quest.
Funny because your whole goal in life as a designer is to,
Well, yeah.
yeah. You're in trouble.
So that's another cool thing is that we've got a one of the main bosses for this entire the campaign is a halfling female. So, and not just any old halfling female, but a zombie version halfling female.
And she has some surprises too.
Yes. And I kind of want to show what happens here. Okay, so she's down. Flash. Oh, what was that? What was that?
Oh, spoiler.
Spoiler info. Everybody's going to see that, so it's okay. So yeah, we're not going to go any further than that. That's a hint at what is to come in Rum Cellar. Who is really behind it all?
All right, so we have about 15 minutes here, so I don't know if there's something else in specific we want to show on Rum Cellar or specific things we want to chat about, but just figure we...
I can show this. So after killing one of the named in the heroic, you can plunder this guy. This is a house item.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is basically this right here. House object. Place in your abode. We can show some of the advanced solo.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Because again, that the advanced solo is a version of the event heroic, which everybody's familiar with by now. So it's our first advanced solo version of those types of zones.
And it is a pretty huge zone. Like
Yeah.
The heroic, the heroic zone's huge.
Yeah, it is huge, and yeah. And again, there's 9 bosses, but you only have to kill 5. The others, I'm saying that as in, don't have to waste your time with the other 4. But you do want to waste your time because it's not wasted time. You're getting loot.
It's well used time.
Oh, that's
It's
what I was about to
well-used
say.
time.
Do they not have loot? Why would I skip
Yeah,
that?
no, you want to do it. So we'll go into the advanced
Lord,
solo,
Tom.
which is Stowaway's advanced solo. And now in this version, there is the heroic, and then there's a challenge heroic.
Keep looking at chat and keep like, do I give Tom Toby a timeout? Like, I think he's giving away a lot of spoilers or something.
Can't we? Can he be redacted?
Yeah, I can redact him. Let's redact him.
Oh!
Oh, I can't believe that happened. Oh, sorry,
It
Tom.
actually worked. That is the best thing ever. I feel like it's gonna just make it worse. Oh, he reducted him.
Yeah, reducted.
That's awesome.
Reducted. So bad.
Yeah, brilliant.
I should have had a duck boss in here.
I hear you not be what he's quacked up to be.
Oh.
I have no answer to that.
Was a foul joke.
Oh. Zing. Way to go, Rye. No, yeah.
It's almost like
I
talking
feel
about
like-
ducks like all day long. It's weird. For the question earlier, so yeah, duck mounts, we're aiming to get those out here in April. They should be soonish. And yeah, we just didn't want them to be on top of all the stuff from Bristlebane Day. So look for those soon, and you'll be able to ride those through this area outside of the Rum Cellar, probably.
What are you talking about?
Duck mount release, they want to know when exactly in April.
Exactly. Awesome. We
Soon, yeah.
soonish, even though it's a myth.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. We can neither confirm nor deny anything duck mount related.
By the way,
Take
I
backs.
can't. I'm so. It's again, the tales of Tom Toby and Chris Atkins. So we'll be getting the latest chapter of their efforts related to duckery and foulness, because that's what they do. Yeah, and so yeah, Rye will probably be giving us sneak peeks as we get a little further along on telling their story. It's pretty epic though. Like we're hoping to do a documentary to talk about the origins of and at SOE Live when the infamous request was asked. So yay! Even though it's a myth.
Do we want to chat more about what we're doing over here? Do we want to chat about someone on here was asking about server migration, seeing how we're doing right now?
So with the changes we've been making to the database, the back end, all the longer downtimes you've been seeing, Rye's been posting the time. We've been doing 2 to 4 servers a week. So far, we're looking good. Our engineers are making tweaks and improvements as we go. A lot of the performance changes are going to be based on what we're doing with the database. One of the big things, getting us to cross-server Dungeon Finder is a multi-phase plan. So the first phase is to do a conversion of our databases, which we're just about done. We'll be done probably the third week of April with all the conversions. Then our engineers are working. It's really hard to explain. Some of you may understand, but basically your character files of everything that happens with your character, we call it a blob. It is because of how old the game is and how much stuff is available on your characters. Like there's a few people that have completely blown out the size of their character file because they've done every single quest, every single achievement, and have every possible thing on their character. So these things are huge and it's causing some load time issues. So we're breaking those up. So that's the next part of the process. And doing that too gives us a lot of flexibility in how we handle accounts. So we're excited about that. It'll give us a bunch of flexibility in dev. And then that's sort of a fundamental layer that we need to go the next step, which is the cross-server Dungeon Finder. So it's more about making a global account system for EverQuest 2. So those are some of the things that are coming, but so far it's been actually pretty good. The only thing we're doing is making sure we fine-tune and tweak optimizations and performance. We know and have heard about the issues with raid lag. To give you a bit of background on that, ultimately what happened is as Altar of Malice has gone along, and you're unlocking more stuff with more procs and more spells, just to give you some idea of a perspective, in a single frame, sometimes we're seeing over 300 spells are being cast in a single frame in a zone. And that happens more than just in a single frame as you all decide to press buttons and do things at the same time. And so we're working on, we have already had several fixes for that. And going forward, we're going to make sure we manage that better. And on the back end, we'll probably be distributing the load better with making some changes about how we do server balance and load balance, which is probably going to happen within a month or so after we finish the first part of the migration, which should end, like I said, in about 2 weeks. So while the player-facing stuff is the content.
To reinforce the last part, so you said 2 weeks, so we should be done with migration stuff in 2 weeks? Okay,
yes.
Cool.
Yeah, we're targeting probably the week of April 20th, I think, should be our last ones. We've got to do some of the international DBs and battlegrounds and things. But yeah, it's really hard to explain how much stuff is going on in the background. The player-facing stuff, we know that lag is absolutely crummy, and we don't want to have that happen because that's fundamental to the play experience. And that's a huge priority for us as we're doing this work. So this is, again, a super long answer to a very short question, which is, should we see performance gains? Absolutely, as we continue. And we're tweaking stuff all the time, even on the art side. So, yeah, we're going to keep doing things.
Okay, so we have just a few more minutes, so let's come back here to the game, and because you have this guy set up over here.
I'm in the advanced solo version of Rum Cellar. This is, again, like the event heroic, and in here you fight brownies. So when was the last time you had a brownie encounter? I'm going to cheat again. There is a rare chance, I should mention too, that you can get the heroic level mercenary. So he's a rare merc. He's a drunken monk. Normally in the past we've dropped these elite mercs in heroic content, but now we're also dropping it in solo because that's what solo players will use as a merc. So we definitely want that to be dropped there as well. Let's see, did I get one? No, I didn't get it this time. Oh, and also in the advanced solo and in the other event heroic style zones, we are in Rum Cellar. We're dropping off the first couple names collection pieces. So in the past, the first two names didn't drop anything. Now they will drop a collection piece. So in the for solo players, you can complete the collections from the heroic zone by looting them off the first couple names. Actually, they drop off all 3 names actually. That's just some of the loot you can get. So yeah, solo, on the face it doesn't look like you get a whole lot because there's just 2 zones, but there's a whole lot of loot you can get, including best in slot, and you can get a lot of heroic loot now, which is really cool for solo players. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So anything else that we want to show over here, or should we just cut back to some of these cameras here?
No.
Okay, cool. So actually,
good.
we want this one here. So we have like 3 or 4 minutes. So I don't know if there's any other questions you want to get. Anything else we want to chat about with players, or?
I've been watching some of the questions and answering as I go. Yeah, I'm more than anything. As always, I typically like to thank you all for continuing to be supporters and players. We're going to keep looking at doing, more promotions, and not promotions specifically, but doing more bonuses in games. So over the weekend we did a double XP for members, and then I think coming up we'll probably do a trade skill one, and then we'll do a guild and / status double XP, just to keep things going and making sure it's fun and you reap the benefits and the rewards. And to be honest, I can't explain how this team, as always, continues to work incredibly hard. And our goal is just to have fun. And like I said, we're players too. So, we're gravitating towards the things we think are fun and looking at the feedback that you give us as well, to make sure that we're addressing your concerns and the issues. And the team, generally speaking, is pretty reactive to everything that they're hearing from players. So this is a combined effort. We don't exist without you, and we want to make sure we're addressing your needs and making sure that the game is fun and it supports the community and the amazing world that is Norath, and all the friends that you have there. So really, that's our goal. There's never anything sinister behind any plans we have. We're always trying to do the right thing. That's all.